Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of TA Outdoors. I am here in a new woodland which I've not actually camped in before. It's mostly beech trees here, but there's hundreds of saplings and I think they're a mixture of beech and ash, but there's so many of them it's actually a bit of a battle to get through. I've got heavy gear with me today. I'm camping in a tent and I've also never camped in before, so a couple of new things to experience on this trip. I've got a Woodstove with me too, and temperatures are going down to 0 degrees Celsius tonight. I thought this would be a good time to do a hot tent, but also to see how hot can I get the tent when it's about 0 degrees outside. I thought it would be really interesting, so we'll crank up the stove and see what we can get it to. I found this little clearing behind me, and now I'm going to try and set up this new tent that I've never used before, and I've had for over a year now. Tell you what, it definitely needs a vehicle to get the tent into the woods. It's heavy. No idea what's what, so we'll have to just lay it all out. That looks like gear organiser. So I think it's an umbrella type mechanism on this tent, and I've just got to push that top bit up, and it's supposedly meant to just pop out like an umbrella. Hey, something clicked. Now, let's go out. It's going to be real easy to lose the tent pegs, the bag, sorry, on the tent pegs. So on the inside, obviously this was the umbrella mechanism to push the tent up. It's now up and locked into place, but obviously this pole would get in the way, so I think you can untwist it. It's on a threaded screw. There you go. That comes out, but now I've got headroom and I can walk through the entire middle of the tent. So that's handy. So that's the main tent set up. It's actually, the mechanism, once you figure it out, it's really quick, it's really easy. This is a door, I think. I'm guessing, bend it the other way, like that. This is so cool. It's got some Velcro down one side, and then there's some Velcro on the tent here, on one side. So if I step out so it's velcroed on the back there to the tent, and then there's this like secure, secondary secure Velcro to go on top to pinch it in place. This is very clever. There is a handle here. Look at that. That's so cool. A door on a hinge. That's super clever. For just quick, easy access in and out the tent without having to do a zip all the time. And I still have the inner mesh, or the outer tent zip, inner tent zip here, for when I want to secure it down. I really like that. So they've even got in here a hammer, like a multi-tool, which is a hammer, little prying eye there to get the nails out. There's other things on here too. Knife, quite a few actually. A decent sized saw, look at that. 5-inch saw blade that's fairly sharp. Very cool. So apparently there is 5 layers, 5 window layers. This is a dual layer tent. So the inner and the outer all go up together, but there is a gap between the inner and the outer. So you get pretty much no condensation at all on the inside, and it's kind of heavy duty material on the outside. I'll put a link in the specs in the description below. Full disclosure, this was sent to me by RBM Outdoors over a year ago. I used their inflatable, you guys might have remembered their big inflatable tent, the house tent. I'll put a link to that episode down below somewhere, and I also had this one. I just never got round to using it. But yeah, so there's 2 windows, and there is a clear plastic one that can velcro on the top as well. Yeah, that just pulls off. Tasteful though, isn't it? Very cool. I like that. How I get a view of the stars in the evening, at night. Cool. So pretty much set up now. I have used this wood stove before. You might have seen by the kind of patina on it. I used it in a Land Rover camping video and deer hunting video with my mate George on the farm, in a different tent though. So this is the first time using the actual RBM stove with the actual RBM tent. It's a beast of a stove. If anyone's ever used one, you'll know. For a tent anyway, they get really warm. I think it's time to get some firewood and start getting the stove warm. I think I have brought some wood with me because this is a new woodland. I didn't know what the wood situation would be, but there's actually quite a lot of dead wood as well, so we'll go get some wood and we'll fire up the stove. I see. So there is actually a mesh storage net thing, and there is a thing that can go, a bolt that can go in there to keep that secure, or you can leave it loose and store gear from there. That's handy. And what I'm going to do is just make some very fine curls just here on the feather stick. I've done this a lot on my videos, really super fine ones, because the fire steel is not really going to light those thick ones. It will if I shower loads of sparks on it, but just really tiny thin ones I've found works really well. Now let's show you. There's the tiny curls all in there. Underneath the big thicker feathers, that's the small ones. So they're the ones I'm going to try and shower the sparks onto. I'm going to just wedge that in there so the sparks kind of go towards the wood stove. Takes a while. Nearly. There we go. Just let that climb up before I put it in. There we go. Got the vent fully open. So I guess this is where the storage rolls go. There's 3 clear pockets, well 2 clear pockets. It just velcros onto these flaps that are on the side of the inner tent. And then there's like water bottle pockets here and a zip at the bottom. And loads of storage pockets around the edge of the tent. I know Andy has used this tent as well in his videos. And quite a few others, because it's a popular kind of heavy duty outdoor tent for winter camping. Right, stove's going. Really toasty already in here. I'll get my thermometer on in a minute. I'm going to crack some windows and then get enough firewood for later and get ready to cook. It's cosy, it's toasty, there's loads of room for activities. I've got a few other things to set up as well. And I think it's a vent for the wood stove, because it's next to the wood stove, just to get some air, make sure any potentially dangerous gases, I guess, go out of that hole. So I've got this little, it's actually a carbon monoxide alarm and a thermometer at the same time. Got it attached to my backpack, so I'm going to leave it outside first to just see what the temperature will be when it's outside. At the moment it's 5 degrees Celsius, but it can tell me when the levels of carbon monoxide are high enough that it will be in the red zone and it will alert me. It makes an alarm noise. Yeah, it's rechargeable. It's actually quite good. Gonna do a casserole, sausage casserole, but I've brought with me my kind of deep cook pot, and I need to cook the sausages a bit first, ideally. So I think I'm gonna have to cut them, which I don't really like doing when they're like this, because they fall apart, but I have to do it. Not ideal. Chefs will be scoffing at this, but it's all I can do to cook the sausages evenly, because they're not really going to fit in there. Le pepper. Bit of a beastie pepper, this one. Also got an onion. And some garlic. Right, I've put some oil in there, get it heated up. Hopefully it cooks the sausages. It's hot. Let's see if it works. Don't stick. Whoop. Oh, perfectly fits. Look at that. Brilliant. Right. Cooking nicely. Onion and garlic to go in. Pepper. Might only use half of this. This is actually quite a lot of pepper. It was a big pepper. Now got this sausage casserole kind of mix. Cheating a bit, really, but when you're camping sometimes things like this are very helpful. Tin of chopped tomatoes, and then I'm going to add some water as well. The rest of this mix. Down to 3 degrees outside. I'm going to take it in a minute because I want to let it have some time to heat up inside the tent, see how hot we can get it. But this is due to go down to about 0, but I doubt it will freeze here in the woods. It will probably freeze outside of the woods in the fields and stuff. The trees do stop a lot of the frost. Let's bring it in. Well, it is 39 degrees Celsius. It is hot. The bottom one percentage is the humidity level, I think. There's going to be not much humidity in here. It's absolutely roasting. 39 degrees. Oh my days. Oh, this casserole's ready though. I think I massively underestimated the heat efficiency of this stove and this tent combination. I've never been in a hot tent this hot. Has it gone to 40 yet? No, 39 degrees. I've got the door half open over there. I think I'm getting to the stage where I'm just going to open the doors, because I really don't want to be super dehydrated and uncomfortable in here just for the sake of a YouTube video to see how hot I can get the hot tent. I am definitely 39 degrees is hot enough for me. Just the casserole, no bread. I'm a bit gutted I forgot the bread, because I had a nice piece of sourdough to go with this. But is what it is, and the casserole smells amazing. insanely hot. I can confirm it is incredible. Just need some dippy bread, but that is lovely. The sausages are really tender. The onion and garlic is giving it lots of flavour. I also threw in a sprig of thyme as well. Again, I should have bought another bowl to pour it out into. I've had to wait for the pot to cool down. Take my knife off. And just general evening camp chill time, which I do this time of year because it's dark at 5:30. It's coming though. It's getting light soon. Clock's going to change end of March. Not long.
She's the one, the only remedy, and I'm sure.
Something I used to do, but don't as much these days, is I used to make feather sticks at night when I was hot tenting or camping with a wood stove, or just general camping. I'd make my feather sticks at night by the fire, ready for the next morning, so I didn't have to make them because it's obviously cold when you wake up. And I haven't done it in a while, and I've experienced the annoying cold sensation of waking up and then having to make the feather sticks. So I'm going to take this time to make some feather sticks, as the stove is still chucking out quite a bit of heat. One more log to put on after this. Wind's actually picking up. I haven't tied the guy ropes out. You can see the reflectors there on each of the tie-out points for the guy lines. But the forecast wasn't actually that windy tonight. I mean, the tent's not rattling at all with the wind. But looking at the stovepipe, it's breezy. But I'm still not going to put the guy lines out because it's not due to get silly winds. But yeah, they are super bright, those reflectors. Right, that's sleeping set up for the night. Just a sleeping pad and my 3-season sleeping bag, which is probably still going to be quite warm because it is 32 degrees in here still. Oh, I've got a different pillow as well. You'll see, it's not very good actually. I'm not sure how comfortable that's going to be. It's very lumpy. Very lumpy. Well, that pig, I'll put on a big bit of birch on the wood stove, and it took a while to get going, to light actually. I had to put a few small sticks underneath it to get it going. It's now going, which is good. I've zipped up some of the doors, but I've opened the vents on the windows just to get some airflow because it gets really stuffy in here. This is it's an impressively hot tent. It's definitely the hottest hot tent I've used in terms of thermal ability. I'm not quite sure what the word is. I'm going to get some sleep. That's the last log for the stove for tonight, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the morning. Morning everyone. I woke up probably 7 or 8 times last night. Not because I was cold, just because I kept rolling off the mattress. I just didn't have my mattress set up well, and it's quite a narrow one. Just kept rolling and almost rolling off it, and it was a bit annoying, but it did wake me. It's 5 degrees in here at the moment, according to this. It is chilly. I've layered up. I was debating to light the wood stove. The only thing with it being such a massive wood stove for a tent is that it's going to take a long time to cool down once I've lit it. I don't have too much time this morning, so instead I'm not going to light the wood stove. I'm going to light a fire outside, which gives me time to pack down the wood stove and bits. And I've already done my feather sticks last night, so we should be good to go. Camp admin, let's get organised. So I've pretty much tidied the tent up, the stove's put away. It's just the rest of the tent to fold down and put away now. But I am just going to get a fire going. Just quickly, where I've chucked the ash here from the wood stove, just going to get a fire going just here. Hopefully. Same thing as yesterday. Feather sticks, thicker sticks, thinner little curls just there, which make it generally a lot easier to light your feather sticks, I've found anyway, but it's not very easy to balance this one. Not very easy at all. Gotta get it warm. There you go. Oh, just burnt out. Try again. Bit hard to get it balanced. Better. Now you just let those flames climb up through the thicker curls. Whoops. Well, that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. It's been nice to come to a different woodland with a change of scenery and testing out a different tent. I'm definitely going to keep that tent and use it, hopefully in some more frosty, colder weather. It did get down to 0, but in the woods I reckon it was about maybe 2-3 degrees Celsius. It's just interesting to see how hot the tent could get. I think I got it to 39 degrees Celsius, which is at around about 0 degrees Celsius outside. So pretty cool to see how hot you can get these tents. Obviously in much colder conditions it would probably not get to that temperature, but yeah, it was a good fun experiment. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Also, if you're interested in this type of video, camping, hot tents and things like that, I'll put a link to my camping playlist somewhere up here or in the description below. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.